Okay. All right. We're gonna go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Wayne, when
Oh, now
you
you're.
know,
Are we on record?
after you finish smoking a ton of crack, and you're like, okay, let's go ahead and let's get in the music. What were the biggest obstacles you had starting right off the bat? What were your biggest obstacles?
The biggest obstacles were having getting the bands to trust me. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I was new to the scene. I had been only part of one band, and there had been many production companies ahead of me. You know, we had Quick Fix Productions. We had Bill Terrell's. Oh my gosh,
Infectious records.
infectious. I wanted to say Infectious Grooves, Infectious Records. There was many of other well respected music producers out there. Putting shows together. So the biggest thing for me was to go in, talk to the bands, show the bands what I was going to do, how we were going to do it, and just tell them to put their trust in me. And it worked. I
Mm-hmm.
got my first five bands was Control Element, Severance. Let's see, the first five bands of the first death metal ball or metal ball was Severance, Anchor, Control Element, and ASA. Those were the four bands.
Assisted suicide assembly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, yeah.
So
All right.
that was my very first show. And a matter of fact, it was ASA's first show too,
Mm.
only because they were in another band called Watership Down and another band on the side project that they were all doing. And Chad wasn't singing for those ones. And they also still had FOMO Fuyab going around too a little bit.
Right. All right.
So, yeah, anyways, that was my very first show.
All right. My fondest memory of Assisted Suicide Assembly, that was the first band I did sound for that had triggers on the drums. Jesse's
Ah,
triggers were
Jesse's,
incredible.
yes, they were. Jesse's
They were
triggers were amazing.
incredible. I'm just like, man, every metal band should be doing this shit.
Yeah.
That was absolutely amazing. You
Yep.
know, now Wayne, one of the things, and I wanted to share this with you because I did Deep Freeze Fest back at Pinky's, and you can
I do
relate.
remember Deep Freeze.
Yep. And you did Holiday Metal Ball, and we both of our events had Symbolic Carnage to it. As the
Oh,
headliner.
I think I lost sound.
The reason I'm bringing this up is that, okay, we
If you
meant
can hear me, I
really
can't hear
well
you.
by it, but there's a reason why there's festivals in the summer and not the winter.
Yes.
You know, you gotta account for band travel, you gotta account for band hotel, you gotta account, for family, guest list.
Weather. Weather
Yeah,
was a key. Weather was a big thing too, especially in Colorado.
yeah.
yeah. I just look back and someone say, we really meant well. But when we had Flotsam and
Yep.
Jetsam literally they got in at 6 o'clock p.m. When the show just got started,
Okay.
and they were nice. They didn't ask us to turn the bands down. That's one thing I'll give them credit for. But I'm just like, okay, who's it's like what hotel they're staying at? Oh no, we're going back to the airport and flying home. I'm just like,
Right.
yeah. I'm like, okay, I guess it's going to be me and my guitar player, Jason. I guess we're driving
Yeah.
Flotsam and Jetsam back to the airport at 3 in the morning when I'm fucking dead as fuck tired.
Yep. I was lucky enough. I was lucky enough when I brought in touring bands, I didn't really have to do the hotel thing, which was nice.
Hmm. Right. Now, did you have any, during your tenure, did you have any unreasonable demands from artists?
Whew. Um, I didn't. And to be honest with you, a lot of the artists that I was dealing with were so young on the touring market that
Hmm.
they didn't know what a writer was yet or a real writer was. They said, "Hey, can you get some water and some beer?" And I'm like, "Sure." Then you get bands like Kitty or 40 seconds, not 40 seconds, 40 man, I can't remember. But anyways, you get a band like Kitty in, they want certain things. They want certain kinds of waters, they want certain kind of sandwiches. I had to have I don't know if you remember a sub sandwich shop called Fat Jack Subs.
Hmm.
They used to cater all of my shows and all the big shows. and Kitty, I had to special order a tray of food because they didn't like ham. They only wanted turkey, and I can't remember what else was on it, but it was certain things. So yes, I've had some outrageous ones, but for the most part, I've never had to really deal with a lot of riders, only because the local touring guys were just getting started.
Right. Okay, since Jim's here,
Uh huh.
this chimes in. I remember, Wayne, you booked depth charge for a show at the Gothic. We did it a couple of times. But I remember the first
Yep.
time around, I remember you were good enough to buy beer and water that in the green room. And I just
Yep.
remember I'm just like here it's like I'm going down, it's like maybe I'll grab a beer down in the green room at the Gothic, the best back green room in Denver. And
Oh, it
who's gonna
Yes,
is.
get a
sir.
beer? Chadwick for
Gosh,
more. I'm like,
fucking
what the
Chad.
fuck is Chadwick
Fucking
fucking
Chad.
doing here? And like, what's he doing drinking our beer? Oh, it's Miller High Life, not my kind anyway. But
Ah, fucking Chad. So I love Chad. Don't get me wrong, but he's also frustrating. Because we're good friends, and I love that guy. But oh, frustrating guy.
mhm.
But because I remember he'd always try to add like 50 people along to the guest list. I'm like, dude, I shit you not, like 50 people. I'm like, they can pay $10 to see us. We're my friends. I go, you get two. You got two people. Okay, like on your guest list. I love Chad, but he's kind of insane.
Mhm. Now, okay, this rolls in, Wayne, to my next question for you, and that's
Okay.
uh all right. Did you ever deal with the hardcore scene?
Yes, I did a little bit, very little.
Okay.
Not like I did when I came back out, but yes.
Okay. Now, the one thing is that the hardcore scene and the beginning and the end of the Pinky's live music run was because of hardcore. Maris the Great and his manager Rainey, they 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 had they booked a show to headline Marauder. You know them?
Yes, I do.
Name?
Right.
Yes.
Marauder Marauder in their entourage caused such a scene. And if you remember, Pinky's has pool tables,
Right.
Yep.
and pool tables have balls.
Yep.
Pinky. Do you cup them? No, no.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
They got projectiled.
Oh
People
shit.
got seriously hurt.
Really? Oh
Yep.
wow.
Wow.
People got seriously hurt. You know, you know, the thing, Wayne, is just that how much of a different game was hardcore to you?
It was huge, but I dealt with a lot of the sober hardcore kids, the what they called straight edge,
Right.
and they didn't do the drinking and they didn't do the smoking, so I didn't have to deal with all that craziness. But I did have to deal with the kick fighting, the whole
The hardcore
the hardcore kicks. Had to
dancing.
deal with
Yeah.
that. Had to put up boundaries. Had to make them have boundaries. Um, there Herman's Hideaway was rough because when I started doing shows back, I started doing more hardcore shows. And they were like, listen, dude, if you're going to do hardcore shows here, you cannot have these kids kicking and doing all this crazy shit. And so it just doesn't work like that because somebody's going to get really hurt. Well, I told him, I said, let me do a show. We'll see what happens. If it gets crazy, I'll go in there myself and take care of it. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened to do. But I went there, talked to the main guy that was causing all the kicks and causing everybody to get all crazy and rowdy. And I'm like, listen, dude, if we want to keep having shows here, we've got to stop the nonsense. I
Yeah.
Hmm.
get it. I'm not telling you, look, you can't dance. I'm not telling you but kicking. So you have taken care of, but nothing like that Marauder show because I heard all about that. I had never dealt with anything like that ever.
Right.
No, because mosh pits are cool because people run around and they take care of each other. But that hardcore
Yes.
kick punching thing, it's insane. It's like, oh, that's not gonna work.
Well,
No.
And it kind of it kind of went away as fast as it came on. But yeah, no, it's that shit's insane.
okay.
Um,
Yeah.
All right. This is a long shot question, Wayne, and if you don't know, I'll accept that as an answer. There was a guy
Okay.
that used to go to a lot of big Q shows. His name was Chris, but he also went by the name Santa Crush. He's probably in his 60s
Yes.
or 70s these days, but
Yep.
he took lots of photos of bands.
Oh,
Did you?
I wish I had contact with that cat.
Right.
So here's what I can do. Mike from Severance was closer to that guy than I was. I
Hmm.
can see if he even has contact with Santa Crush.
Right.
Um, he's in the Dominican Republic right now, so I can't get a
Okay.
hold of him. But when he
oh,
comes back, I'll ask him if he has any kind of contact information, whether it's Facebook or anything, about Santa Crush, because I would love to get into his library.
Right.
He's
Because
got quite the library.
yes, he does. And you know what? The one thing he does, one particular one was filth industry, and that
At the,
Wayne,
was that
that
was
night
that
was
the film?
that night
Which
with
one was
filth
that?
industry. Go ahead.
Was that the one at the Ogden Theater?
No, it was at the Gothic. We
At the
did night
Gothic.
one at the
Okay.
Gothic. At the Gothic,
Okay.
day two was at the Ogden.
Okay.
You were good
Okay.
enough to give
Okay.
us night one at the Gothic.
Okay. That's
You
right.
know,
Okay.
I remember Filth Industry and just that set. And Jen, their guitarist and their keyboardist is the sexiest woman I ever saw on stage.
I thought I was the sexiest woman. No, I'm never.
No, you're not entirely joking on that, Jen.
Well, the dick kind of gets in the way, but
You know, I've seen women on on stage and all that, but her persona was like the sexiest I ever saw, and I just
I would have to agree.
all right, waving at you, girl. She walked behind you. I'm like, hey.
yeah yeah
Oh, I'm the sexiest woman.
yeah you are yeah.
Like, yeah.
Stage.
Gosh,
We're talking
dang
about my
That
wife
one
Kathy
time,
Wayne.
band camp. I got through
it.
the first time.
Okay, talking about your favorite bands to work with, Wayne. Aside from Depth Charge, which the bass player is a great guy.
And
Yeah, he's a
more.
great guy. Yeah, Depth Charge
No, bass
more. You
players are
guys were
never great
great.
guys.
Yeah, I never had any problems with there was very little problem. There was only like two bands in the scene that I ever had problems with, and one of them was so mad at me because they didn't get any money because they didn't get any tickets back. And I'm
Right.
like, dude, and these were during the times of comp tickets. And
Hmm.
I wish I knew their name because I would throw them on blast, but I don't remember their name. But
Yeah.
these were comp tickets they were giving out. They were a kid band. So I learned the hard way about giving comp tickets to a band with kids that are less than 21.
Hmm.
So what I did with bands after that was told them if they weren't 21, I would give them a short number of 21s for their for their parents, but they had to tell the kids to pay. So
Right.
because if they weren't going to be able to give out 20, they weren't going to be able to go to bars and give out 21 and over tickets.
Hmm.
Um, but anyways, Dead Speak was a great band to work with. I don't know if you remember Dead Speak with Cassie
I
and
remember
all of
saying,
those guys. Hmm. Let's see, really difficult to. It's really difficult. Pit Six was great to work with. Um, dude, they're
now
really,
this,
to be honest with you, man, I wish I had a band that I said I had problems with, but I never really did.
okay. All right.
The
Now
funny stuff about that, a lot of bands are, um, a lot of promoters used to bands, local bands being prima donnas and shit and all that. And I remember our very first show at the Bluebird, and Jim from Nobody in Particular Presents. He had all the
Mm-hmm.
bands. Actually, it was our second show because we did the Catalina, or sorry, Bonita Burger had that kind of a festival thing going on, and that's when we did our first Bluebird show. But the second one, it was like a local band thing, and it was like a Tuesday, and Nobody in Particular Presents was trying to explore local bands after that show to see if they could draw, right? And we drew
Yep.
like a motherfucker. But anyway, Jim had this gathered all the bands together and he's like laying down the law. He had like you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't do this. And he's kind of a dick. And him and I are great friends. We're
Yeah.
brothers. But at that moment, I didn't know him. He didn't know us. And he said all this shit. And I'm like going, it which just seemed obvious to me at the time. So he goes, anybody have any questions? And I raised my hand. And remember Dan, the bass player, was like, oh God, no, don't do it. I go, so if a train leaves Los Angeles going 75 miles an hour and another train, and then Dan goes, no math problems. So Jim like automatically hated me because he felt I was mocking him. And I remember we're sitting, the little booth where you sell t-shirts at the Bluebird.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sitting in there and with my makeup and leather and everybody's sitting there selling shirts and Jim's sitting across with everybody else from the Bluebird just being an asshole, to be honest with you. He's being a dick. He's like, oh no, these fucking faggots with their makeup and blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, whatever. I didn't say anything, I'm like, whatever. And then halfway through our show, because we always had an instrumental in the middle of our show, because Robert loved instrumentals. And then I'm standing back behind the thing. And Jim comes running up. He goes, "Oh my God, I am so sorry. I didn't realize you were actually good. Oh my God, we need to get you a light,
Oh,
and we need to coordinate with the shit so we can get better lighting, and we'll have a whole thing going on." And I'm like, but it proves just be nice to people, you know what I mean? And I know
yeah,
a lot of bands are dicks. And usually the more your persona is big, the shittier your music is. Um, Talking to you, Sleep Token. I love Sleep Token's
right.
book, but their music
Uh,
is absolute goddamn shit. I'm like, I want to like you, but you're terrible. And there's so many bands like that. And that's kind of the thing is like the better you look, the worse you're gonna be. But people want you to be great. And if you actually deliver,
right,
then they love you like forever. And
right.
if you
Hey,
don't, then you're like, oh. Which goes back to the
It's
AI thing.
funny you
I'm like
bring up.
going, you can do it live right in front of me, then fuck yeah.
hey,
Well,
Wayne. I know
yeah.
you missed our group with Maris the Great. That's okay. If there was one for you to miss, that would have been it.
That was a good
But
one.
tell me about your experiences with Maris the Great.
Tons of experience with Barrister Gray. He's a good dude. I've seen them both in costume, out of costume, and he's a good dude. I like Barrister Great. He did great things for this music community. I think that when I teamed up with them to try to do a show, we were going to do a show to bring back Bury Your Dead. I
Ah,
think it was 2 years, 3 years ago, 3 years ago. I still got the texts back and forth with Bears talking about Bury Your Dead and bringing them to Harmon's Hideaway. And my experience, but my kids all freaking grew up with Maris the Great. You know how most kids are scared would be scared of what a zombie the Maris was. Um, but they figured if their dad was hanging out with them and their dad talked to him, that he was all good. I've got pictures of him with my daughter, my oldest daughter, and my oldest son, and he's a great guy. I
Hmm.
definitely miss
he's
that.
he's
I probably
wonderful.
should pick up my phone and text him.
Now he's
Right.
wonderful. He came to me and Amy's house, and because he's trying to promote the whole vegan thing, and he had his fake meat thing. I'm like, sorry, dude, the fake meat's bad, but I still love you. And he's always been great. One of my favorite things, speaking of Rock and Jock, and I think it's on a video somewhere. We're playing Rock and Jock, and we're doing American Vampire. American Vampire. You need to do that every between every chorus. And me and Dan are laughing on stage, going, "Oh my God." Because he's
Yeah,
running back and forth.
he's a good dude. For talking about hardcore, him and Rainey are really big on that hardcore scene. And they back east. Rainey used to do a lot of stuff with the New York hardcore scene, and it was it was nothing compared to we had nothing compared to what she was used to seeing back east. And we talked a lot about that when we were together. There wasn't a lot of hardcore bands that were in Colorado at the time,
Yeah.
really good ones. And I know that was something that Maris wanted to try to do, was get more hardcore bands in Denver. Um, then we started seeing bands like Killing Kings pop up. Then we started seeing Snapshot and all these hardcore bands popping up, and Rainey was like in awe. As I don't know, we kind of went off the track. I kind of went off the track with Rainey, but they were all in one. Rainey and Maris were one in one, and
Mhm.
just an amazing dude, man, in costume and out.
Right. Because I'll say this, Wayne. When I first met Rainey, I really didn't get the dirty jurors, the persona right off the bat. But once I done, like, okay, there's nobody else I want to work with. because
Yeah.
Rainey helped Pinky's out a lot, especially Deep Freeze Fest. She helped out a lot.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sure did, man.
I love
Yeah.
You
Mary.
know,
And one funny thing is, a lot of people would freak out, and I can't. So many times I've been to shows, and there's Maris doing this thing. Not my shows, but like I remember even at the Warp Tour, um,
Mhm.
and people are freaking out on him, and they're circling around him like they're gonna want to kick his ass because he's crazy. And then I come running in, hey Maris, and hey, and they're like, oh thank God. And then he's like, oh thank you, because people are weird. It's really weird. Um,
People are afraid of difference. They're afraid of somebody
Exactly.
different.
I was
They,
trying to put words to that. I'm like going, I
yeah,
don't know why people freak out on him so much, but for some reason he goes, thank you. Even at because they just see somebody, that they go, oh, well, if you like him, then that's cool. Because it's kind of a performance art thing. And a lot
yep,
of people don't understand that.
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
This whole thing is awesome.
All
And I
right.
had kids back in the day. I had kids back in the day tell me that dude, he sleeps in that makeup. He doesn't even come out of it. I said, dude, I've been with him without the makeup before, so he gets out of the makeup.
Mhm. All right.
But he's so sweet. He never breaks character until times like that. And he leans over and goes, hey, Jim, how's it going? I'm like,
Yep, exactly.
yes.
That's funny.
All right. Here's the big one, Wayne, that I ask everybody at their own podcast. How you observe how live music will be in the year 2100 and what role will AI have in it? How do you foresee the future?
So I'm a little AI right now is on my bad side because it's doing a lot of things that it really shouldn't be doing right now. I mean, making up fake characters, it's just all kinds of crazy. But anyways, in what year was it? 2100?
2100.
2100. What do we see in 2100? That's 74 years from now.
Hmm.
I would say it's going to be huge. It's
Hmm.
going to be mixing the music. I'm even wondering how much actual music is going to be played on an instrument. I worry about that.
Right.
I don't know if that's going to happen. I worry about it in schools. The reason I worry about it in schools is because I think it's going to be the depletion of the music programs. I think that they're going to find easier ways to teach kids music through AI.
Hmm.
That's not a bad thing, but I still will miss the actual playing live. And I don't think concerts will be what they are today in the year 2100.
Okay.
And once
Feel
again,
free to elaborate on that.
on one hand, I fear that, but I really don't think that's going to happen because since Mozart, people show up to shows, and before records. I mean, records was revolutionary, and people were scared of records when they first came out. In the 1902 or whenever the fuck the phonograph came about, and
Right.
oh well, shit. Now you can just buy because the record industry, the music industry didn't exist. The only reason you got to do music is because you had sponsors.
Right.
Mozart Kings that would give you money, and then you would hire all these musicians that would play, and that was insane at the time. But and then records came out, and they're like, "Oh, it's going to end everything." When cassette tapes came out, we were
I
kids,
remember.
kids. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's going to ruin the music industry." And then CDs came out, and they're like, "Oh my God, you can do this." And then I will admit, the internet kind of fucked the entire paradigm because now everybody. I remember when we put out a Bleed in
Okay.
2003. So, and we're a nobody band. And we recorded an album in a basement, put it out on CD. And before the official release date, within 3 days, it was stolen everywhere. When I Googled more Bleed, uh, bam, I could find it everywhere for free.
Napster.
Everywhere. And
Napster.
we're nobody. We're literally nobody. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yep.
It was
Yep.
insane.
But
And
with
part of
AI,
well,
but with
at least people come to our shows, but Chad,
but
speaking of Chad, crazy Chad, he just texted me the other day, goes, hey, so what's our streaming on that? Is there any money in that? I'm like, Are you on crack, Chad? No. You get it.
Right.
We literally have like 1 million streams and we get like $10. It's like, what the fuck? Okay, sure, fine.
The problem with AI though is that it builds on its own. So what it's not successful at, it's going to try to build it so it is successful.
Oh yeah.
And I think that with music, if if you throw something into a program and you say, okay, AI, clean this up so it sounds better, blah 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 blah, people are going to start playing into AI so they don't have the mistakes coming out.
Hmm.
Me personally, when I go to a show, I love hearing that it sounds like it on the album, but I would like to see a little difference as well. And I
Exactly.
don't think, and I think AI is going to correct those things and not make it so it's like a live show. Um, that's my word. That's my fear that it
That's
takes
funny you
over.
said that because I literally do different things when I sing live than I do on the album.
Yeah,
And just to
exactly,
make it live, you know what I mean? It's like it's a little extra boost, you know what I mean? Like Dio does
exactly,
that all the time. It's like, oh, or Queensryche, it's like, oh, because you want to play it exact and then add, here's a little bonus.
right, exactly,
That way you know it's live too.
exactly. And that's my
Talking to
fear
you,
of
Kid
AI.
Rock. That whole Kid Rock thing made me laugh. I'm like, oh, hey, I fucking hated that. But don't laugh. I hated Kid Rock when he was popular. So yeah.
Yeah, right.
The whole thing was,
Oh man.
I laughed at that. I'm like going, are they in a soundstage with like 100 people, actors filling? It was so weird. It was so weird. America's
uh
so fucking weird lately. I'm like going, oh my God.
yeah, I hear that, dude.
Ugh, insane.
Okay.
All right.
Final question for Wayne. This is a very on the spot question that's deliberately meant to be difficult, but if you could book a 5 band bill, your
You don't
top
get
five
more. I'm
bands
gonna
of
hate
yep,
you.
yeah. We'll make it easy for you. You could put more in depth charge in this five, so you can just pick three.
Okay. So we'll do one of the biggest bands that did get big.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with Dead for Denver.
Okay.
They would probably be they drew and they definitely had a sound that could have continued, and it kind of sucks that they fell off. Number two would probably be. I'm gonna go to a different genre here, but I'm gonna say Throw Cult.
Okay.
Um,
Strokle.
Oh
I
yeah.
enjoyed working with Throw Cult. I enjoyed their music thoroughly. Let's see. Let's see the next band. Let's see. So many. Terror Tech. How about what was that band from the Springs? Oh my gosh. Try Redemption?
Jack Panzer?
Try
You
Redemption.
like Try Redemption? Okay.
Yes, I did like Try Redemption. I liked working with those guys. They were one of the I remember playing dude shows for those guys. They would come up here from Colorado Springs, hardly draw anybody, not expect a paycheck, but they were more than thankful just to get on the stage. That's
Sure.
all they want, was to get on the
Sure.
stage. And they played some guys. Still, to this day, I even listened to one of their albums at work the other day.
Right.
So, yeah, they're still around in my head. But Try Redemption would probably be the three. Now, if I could do the 4 and 5, that would be great.
Mhm.
The
Okay.
four would be probably Anchor.
Anchor.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, I'd probably do Anchor.
kitty cat.
Because I love Phil Anselmo and Wasey's great. Uh, and I loved working with those guys, Teddy and the group.
Mhm.
Let's see, who would be the last band?
I'll throw one out there. How about Scapegoat?
Oh my God, I forgot about Scapegoat. We even talked about them.
We did.
They were from the Springs as well.
I
Yep.
don't think
Scapegoat it is,
I never
because
thought.
those guys were another band that could probably have done something and then stopped,
Right.
especially with Michael
So
Lobato and all those guys.
right.
Yeah.
I'll put it to you like this. To me, when Michelangelo and Dustin were in the band, you and I described this, and Jim, you can agree or disagree with this one. I thought they were the ultimate 1-2 punch that no one could
Mhm.
duplicate. They
Who?
were
Open?
That's true.
scapegoat.
I don't think I ever saw him.
Okay, well, Wayne and I are
SKA
amongst the fortunate to have experienced them at the height of their powers, right, Wayne?
That's
I also
right.
have this other issue, and I've heard this 1,000 times because I used to sit out in the van, the tour van, and warm up. So whatever band was right in front of us opening for us, I never saw because I'm like going, "Ah," for literally like
Right.
half an hour. And Brady's like, "We open for you." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you guys are great." I never saw so many times.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not a diss. It's just I'm trying to do my thing.
You know,
I can't tell you how many times I run into bands literally all over the country, New York, Florida, wherever. And I go, "Oh, we were right in front of you." I'm like, "Oh, you guys are great." I never saw them. And it's not a bad thing. It's just I'm doing my, doing my
Yep.
voice.
hey, Wayne, at a show that you're promoting, if you're in the office tallying up totals, wouldn't you just like to have Jim around because it just wouldn't be boring?
It would not be boring.
I am many things. Boring is not one of them.
Yeah.